Okay. What it takes to open up, and why is the term soft used to belittle other men for being emotionally aware?
I'll start with that. I could say, because speaking of what you said earlier about being vulnerable, some men are probably afraid that women might use it against them, because that happens a lot.
True.
And you in a relationship, and I'm not even gonna say, I'm not taking the blame from the woman, but they can't attack us physically, so they have to use other means. So they use emotional or mental means. It's just it's their natural defense mechanism to do that. Right. So they're gonna go for the jugular, like, oh, you gay, or oh, you got a little dick, or shit that completely ain't true. You know what I mean? So
start going for the throat.
Just go for the throat. So you say, oh, you start crying, that they see you, you get emotional. Maybe somebody close to you passed, or you just in a vulnerable moment and she catches you and you crying. 5 years later, she might throw that shit back at you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
like,
damn.
I can't tell you shit. You know?
Yeah. So I can't even be myself around you.
So a lot of men are afraid to show that vulnerability and that quote unquote softness, soft side, because they're afraid it's going to be thrown back at them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me personally, I it's not that I fear that. I don't really give a fuck. But at the same time, I'm just a very closed person. I don't really open up emotionally at all. I don't even. You know, when like my grandma cried, or my grandma died, and my wife was there, I fucking ran. I went outside to cry. I wasn't even gonna cry in front of her. Not because I was afraid she's gonna use it against me or some shit. It's just me personally. It's just something that
I keep that to myself.
I'm a psychological block. I don't want to show vulnerability in front of my woman. I want her to see me as Superman 24/7. I know it's not realistic, but that's just how my psychological makeup is. So some men are afraid to show that softness, or I don't want to say afraid. Some just don't want to.
Yeah.
So those are, that's just mine.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid necessarily to be vulnerable. I feel like that vulnerability should only be saved or reserved for certain people.
True.
And I think that's my hardest thing, is being able to know when to let that wall down and be like, okay, I can be vulnerable, or okay, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you said, I just always keep it on a an up and up, that wall on the up and up. And I just feel like, trying to navigate through that, sometimes I want to.
Would you say that you fear rejection in those regards?
Sometimes, yeah. But I feel like a lot of that came from, most of the time it does is just from past stuff, you know, and trying to work through that. I feel like there are times when I can, push through it mentally and be like, nah, dude, that's what you did in the past. Like, let's move forward. Let's do a different step. It might turn out differently, like you were saying earlier.
Truly.
But yeah, I feel like everybody has a bit of fear when it comes to rejection.
Yeah.
Just some of us handle it a little bit better than other people do.
Right. And I'd say that because that's what it sounds like as you describe it. Like, how do I be vulnerable and how do I let it go? And for me, that was a huge thing to overcome, because I have a huge wall built up around myself from just family. So I feel like I've always been in my own personal bubble, basically an independent thinker. Like, you all are on this type of page, but I have to think independently for myself, because I know the shit that you're doing does not suit me. And I felt like that within my own household. So it's like, being like that, you get guarded and you don't want to be vulnerable, because everyone just keeps repeatedly disappointing you in a certain way, hurting you in a certain way, making you sad in a certain way. So you're just like, damn, these motherfuckers. And every time I'm putting honest effort into it. I'm out here playing it for face value, and you motherfuckers keep on playing me foul. So it's like, I shouldn't keep on putting myself through this at a certain time. That's your logic saying that. But I had to come to the conclusion of, people are going to be pieces of shit, just to say, you know what I'm saying, not reciprocate evenly to your intentions, and not necessarily do the respectful thing. Like, the respectful thing is, if you're not feeling me in any type of way, or you're, just not interested, you could politely express yourself.
Yeah.
That's the simplest and the most polite thing we could do for anybody, is just express that you're just not for me as a person. A lot of people are too chicken shit, as I would call it, to even be that honest with you. So they make up other things, they say other things, they do whatever they can just to get you off the trail of them, that a lot of feelings get hurt. So it's like, I had to realize maybe these motherfuckers ain't necessarily against me, like they don't like me. It's just they not ready to be honest with themselves of, hey, I don't feel comfortable enough to be honest with this person. I'm not in a position to where I'm ready to handle what this motherfucker is offering. This motherfucker might be ready to chill and be committed and everything, but I'm ready to be more of a social butterfly, maybe even on the edge of promiscuous. Maybe you just want sexual interaction. Like, motherfuckers be insecure to just be honest with themselves and say, this is what I want, and this motherfucker's offering something different. So it's like, I had to stop taking it so hard on myself and just be like, well, I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I know I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not, being a creep, being weird, or this, that, the other. So if it ever does not work with a lady, then that's cool. That's just a one-off instance. I'm going to try the same effort and keep it 100 with the next chick. The same honest effort, be a gentleman, be correct, charismatic, and, all those type things, nice, courteous. I'm going to do the same courtship for the next lady because that's my best foot forward. So I'm not going to change that if I know I'm not bullshit. Now, if I know I'm being, lousy, trying to be a player, trying to keep multiple women in rotation type thing, then you can't be mad about the shit not going right because you're not doing the right thing to begin with. But if you're not disrespecting nobody, you're not wasting anyone's time, keep on doing you and just apply the method to another party. It might be you got to switch what you're aiming for, what you're hunting for. Because you might be aiming for the same type of woman, just in different clothes. And you might be getting the same results because you talk to the same type of woman all the time. A lot of cats be...
So that's what it was still.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats want an attractive woman that may dress provocatively, but then you want a committed relationship. And it's like, attractive, dressing provocatively, that's an attention getter. She wants attention, a lot of attention. She may be committed, but she wants attention. So that's a person that prides themselves on their looks and things like that, and those are perfectly fine. People find mates in those people all the time. But if you know yourself that you're jealous or you're insecure, you don't like for your woman to be looked at by other people, or you don't like for your woman to be talked at by other people, man, that's too much talking. That's too much communication. I'm going to get jealous. I'm going to get mad. Yeah, I feel threatened. I feel like my position is threatened. You shouldn't keep talking to women that dress provocatively and look that way.
You met her at the club.
Even though you attracted to that, yes, that looks like everything you want. You shouldn't talk to that woman with the intention of, I'm going to build something with her because she's gorgeous. Just because she's gorgeous. Because that always leads to you being jealous because everybody knows she's gorgeous. Everybody can see her.
Anything
you got to work out your insecurities.
Try to change her, it's gonna be like, okay, that's
right.
When she start bashing. And
I feel it's the handcuffs and the collar on.
Shit in, like, okay,
right,
yeah.